Hi everyone, this is Becky Tovis with Crafty Chamarita. As you can tell from the way my screen is, my air conditioner is still not working. The good news is we have the unit. The bad news is it's not going to be installed till July the 15th. That's when our contractor will be available. You could tell how busy these aircon people are because all the big units have been sold out. And then they're just so busy installing them. So bear with me for a few more Fridays as I continue to pre-record my videos and then upload it. So if you're watching, please leave a comment so that I know you're here. So before I demonstrate what I want to show you today, I just want to remind everybody, even though it says July 6th, this is still going on, so there's a lot of great things happening with Stampin' Up! That started on July 6th. So there's new online exclusives, so that there's one new kit, and I did order a couple of those so that you guys, I could play around with it, and I'll have an extra one available if you want to use it for Kit Cafe. The clearance rack has been refilled, it's been refreshed, so there's new things in the clearance rack. I managed to get a few of those because some of them are as low as $1. Can't believe it. So I'm sure that those that are $1, by the time you see this, it's going to be sold out because those tend to sell out very quickly. Bonus days are happening this month. So for every $50 increment that you purchase, you get a $5 coupon that you can use in August. So you spend in July, and then you earn in July and you can spend it in August. Also, as I mentioned before, the new kit, there's a new kit that was released. So there's a little bit of a difference. So the new kit, I ordered a couple of new kits, but then there's also new stamp sets and dies and ribbons. There's a bunch of new Christmas stamps that you might be interested in. So take a look at the new online exclusives. And then for July 6th and 7th, if you are a current Paper Pumpkin subscriber, then you can avail to the sale that's going on. So there's past refills as well as other coordinating products. Okay, so lots of great stuff happening. So make sure you check out my store so that you can see what works for you. All right, so with that said, then let me go ahead and talk about the product that I'm going to be showcasing today. It's called Friendship Royalty. This came in, I bought this during the free shipping promotion, and if you watch my unboxing, you would have seen me pull this out, and I really like this stamp set. It's good not just for girls, but for women as well. And there's this stamp in particular I really like. Thanks for fixing my crown. So I did a bunch of different samples, and I'll demonstrate one of them for you today. And I'm going to keep today's card simple so that if you don't have the die cut machine and you don't have a lot of supplies with you, you could still make the card that I designed for today. Okay, so it's called Friendship Royalty. It only comes with the stamp set. There is no die for it, but if you want to fussy cut the things, they're not difficult. And that's what I had to do. I had to fussy cut some things. Okay, I'm going to adjust my fan a little bit so I can feel the air a little bit better. I hope it doesn't interrupt the signal from my microphone. And then I'm going to be using these three colors: Pretty Peacock, Bubble Bath, and Pool Party. And how do I know to use these together? Because I was looking at the Color Coach. So I used the Color Coach to help me figure out what I wanted to do today. So this is the card that we're going to make. As you can see, it's very simple, and I'm going to be using a lot of the stamps in the set so that you could see how you can maximize usage of those stamps. I'm going to change the colors though to the ones that I mentioned earlier. So let me get the pieces that I already cut. So this is the standard A2 size. So it's 8.5 by 11. I cut it at 5.5 and I scored it at 4.25. And this is 4 and 5.25. I just cut it down by ½ an inch. No, I'm sorry, 1/4 inch. This one is 3.75 or 3 3/4 by 5. And then these are the three pieces that I'm going to use for the sentiment. So they're really just going to layer each other, okay? All right, so let me move that out of the way. And let's start with the stamping. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to be using these 3 colors. Okay, and I'll start with this stamp. This looks like there's stars in it, so it's like a starry burst kind of. And I'm going to use Bubble Bath for that. This is one of the new core colors. And I'm just going to stamp it randomly. So when you do this, in essence, you're creating your own designer series paper. Kind of rotate the stamp so that way it's not the same pattern. Okay, and then I'm going to use the star, and I'm going to use Pretty Peacock for that. And again, I'm just going to randomly stamp this image. Oh no. Okay, it's okay. Got in the back. It won't be seen. And then the last one is Pool Party. And for Pool Party, I'm going to use the Starburst. This is the smallest one, so you can actually, it could fit into more places. Okay, put one there. Stamp off there. All right, I think that'll work. So we've got that layer done, and let me go ahead and do all my stamping first, and then I'll adhere things afterwards. So this is the smallest piece. This is what I'm going to use for my sentiment. And before I do my sentiment, I'm going to do the crown. So this is the smaller crown. Okay, here you go. And then I am going to do the sentiment, and I'm going to use the one that said, "You were born to be fabulous, not perfect." Yeah, nobody can say they're perfect. We are humans, and we are flawed. So I have to tilt this a little bit just to make sure I can get it in the right place. Oh, I love that. Isn't that pretty? If you want to stamp things on top of that, you can. I don't recommend that you do too much of it though. So if you want to use, like for example, the Starburst, I think that'll be fine. I didn't do it in my sample, but I think I'm going to do it here. Because it's not intrusive, right? And I'll stop there. I don't want it to get too busy and then it just looks crowded. I don't want that to happen. Okay, and once that dries, it looks like it's still a little bit wet. My Pretty Peacock must be very juicy. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to color in the middle part here. And this is one of the new markers. Can you see that the tip is different from the old marker? I like it. I really like it. In some of the other crown stamp, there's room to color that in more places. But this one just lends itself, I think, to the small one. And then this is going to be the outline. So this, I just gave it like an eighth of an inch room. Because I just want it, I don't want the colors to really protrude. I just wanted it to be a gentle background for it. And I'm going to rub it from the back. You've seen me do that before. Okay, and then this is the backing for that. And I'm going to do the same thing. This is also an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. I'm making the dark border be the dark, I'm sorry, the biggest border be the darkest one, so that it pulls, when you look at it visually, it pulls it in. Because if you use a light border, it tends to make it look out, and I want it to draw the attention into the sentiment. Okay, and let's move this out of the way. And now we are going to adhere things. So this one, I'm going to keep it straight together. It's going to be, you know, an even layering, like so. But when I put the sentiment piece, I'm going to set it off. Okay, let's put this on. This is bubble bath. Bubble bath. I'm still trying to get used to all of the new and returning colors, as well as the ink colors, because there's quite a few of them. When Stampin' Up! Did the color refresh, it was a pretty big refresh. Okay, and so we've got that done. And you know what you can even do? Let's put this on dimensional. So in my sample, I didn't use dimensionals, but I'll do it for this one. And really my focus in doing this card is to do simple stamping, which is what this is. Very simple stamping. I didn't use any die cuts. You know, and the only other thing that I used slightly was the marker. So if you don't have all of the things that I'm using, you could still make this card. And see, I'm using the edges of my dimensionals. I'm almost done with that sheet. So I just cut the sides off so that I can continue to use it. And then we'll put it there. But we're not done. If we want to add a little bit of the bling, I'm going to use the Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I'm going to add a little bling to the card. And let's use one of the bigger rhinestones here. And I'll use the smaller ones for the sides. Oh, this is pretty. Gosh, the rhinestones really adds to it. You know what? I think I'll put 2 more. Why not? I have enough. And it truly makes it look like a crown. That is pretty. Look at that. So I think with my sample, I did use embellishments, but I didn't use the rhinestone. I used a different one. And that's how it looks. And I think before I forget, let me go back in and let me do the inside of the card. I forgot where I put my sponge thingy. Here we go. Because this is photopolymer, I like using this. You know what? I don't want to make that yucky. I think you guys have seen me do it before. I cheat. I don't want the ink to get on this sponge. And I'll just do that. And I'll do that. Just for the inside. Keep it so it has something in there. And I don't think I'm going to stamp anything inside, because really with this sentiment, you can use it for a variety of things, right? You can even use it for a birthday card, or if somebody, you know, something didn't go quite well in their life, you can very easily give it to them for a pick-me-upper kind of card. Okay, so this is the card that we just made, and this is the card that I had as my sample. When I was asking my daughter if I should keep the same color, she's like, yeah, but I didn't listen to her. I said, you know what, let me try something different. So I think I like the colors I chose for today's demonstration better. I think because they're richer, they're a little bit darker. I like that. Okay, so let me show you what else I've done with this stamp set. Okay, so here I use the radiating dies. And again, I use the Color Coach to help me figure out what colors. So this is Orchid Oasis, this is Moody Mauve, and this is Fresh Freesia. Okay. And then this one is a simple card. I love this, If the Crown Fits. And I thought, let me go ahead and do the crown in 3 different colors. And then I stamp these 2 pieces, the little wand, and I just fussy cut it. Very simple card, but it makes an impact, I think, right? Okay, and in the inside, I just stamped it like that. Okay, here I use for these 2 cards, let me show you. Well, let me show you this one first. So for this card, I used this Designer Series paper. It's called Glorious Gingham. And I used the deckled rectangular dies. So these are all layers. That's the great thing about those dies. You can layer it. I fussy cut the crown here. And thanks for fixing my crown. I love this sentiment. Absolutely love it. And for my next card, I used the same paper, but this time I also used another stamp set. Isn't this pretty? So this stamp set is called the Translucent Florals. We were able to get it when we did Creativity Now. This is not available yet, but it will be available in the upcoming mini catalog. I love this. So there's a technique that we did using this, and I'll show this to you later when I focus on this die set, this stamp set. It's very pretty. All right, so this is what I did here. And then I added the crown, and then I put Your Friendship Royalty, right? Okay, I gotta tell you guys something. So this here drives me nuts. The Your drives me nuts. I am an English teacher by trade. So whenever I see people misusing your, it drives me a little bit bananas. So your, like this, U''re, stands for you are. So quick English lesson. Whenever you are trying to say you are, then make sure you put the U''re. The your is a possessive noun. So you don't, the Y-O-U-R is a possessive pronoun. So you don't need to put an apostrophe for that. Okay, I think that's it. So let me take my cards back in so that you could see the cards that I made using the Friendship Royalty. All right, everyone, that's it for today. If you are in Guam, keep in mind that next week, Tuesday, July the 11th, is my next Kit Cafe at JG Cafe in Tumon from 10 to 12. So I hope you can join me for that. Bye.